This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we were about to create a accounting entry. So if I go to transaction FB50 and I was trying to provide the document date, posting date, maybe some reference. Okay, and we created two GL accounts. So first one I will debit and second one I will credit. Let's say with around 10,000. Okay, so we are debiting the salary and crediting the bank account. Let's press enter. So we were getting this error yesterday and we stopped here, right? So the error is control indicator for controlling S000 do not exist. Okay, which is a common error that you will find in SAP ECC also. But what exactly this error is all about is when you go to configuration of controlling area. So you can see this is our controlling area, which we created as 000. Then you have this activate components and the control indicators. Okay, so if you double click on this, what we have done wrong is we specified the fiscal year as 2019. Okay, so actually speaking, in terms of financial year, we are in 2018. That is the reason system is throwing this error message. So I don't think there is an option to change this fiscal year, but what we can simply do is we can change the posting date, okay, in the transaction. So let's do FB50 once again, okay, and let's specify the date as, let's say, 0104 2019. Okay, 0104 2019. Now I think that error will not come because our controlling area is activated from year 2019. Okay, so I'm specifying the same thing again. So our expense account, and this is our bank account, this is debit, this is credit with around 10,000. Okay, just press enter and see if you are getting that error again. Now that error is disappeared. There is some warning. Okay, so warnings you must be knowing in SAP are displayed with the yellow mark, but here in S4HANA they change this to orange. Okay, so but this is a warning. Just press enter, that warning will go away and it will throw some another warning. This is also fine. Just press enter. Now there is an error message. So you can see this red mark and the error is related to the CO object. So whenever we are trying to post anything in the GL which is also created as a cost element, definitely system is asking you where exactly I should post this amount in controlling. Okay, so you have to provide the cost object. Okay, so we can provide any cost object, but as of now we only created cost center. So just go to the cost center screen and click on start search. So yesterday we created this particular cost center. We will use this. Press enter. Okay, there is another error message now. An entry is required in the value date field of account. This is related to the field status variant, which we assign to this GL account, which has a value date as mandatory field. So I'm putting this as same 1/4/2019. Again, press enter. Now that error messages are gone and system seems to be good with the screen sign, but still, as I told you, there will be a lot of new errors which will come when you try to post this. Let's try to post this now. So this is again the common error. There is no item category assigned to account which is related to the document splitting functionality. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let me explain you not exactly the entire document splitting, but what you need to do to avoid these errors. Okay, so if you activated document splitting by default in SAP S4HANA, if you are working on the completely new system, document splitting is by default activated. And if it is activated, there is one minimum configuration that we have to do is we have to go to this financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, and here this is a mandatory configuration. Classify GL accounts for document splitting. If you don't maintain this configuration, every time whenever you try to post any document, you will keep on getting this kind of errors. Okay, so let's go to this configuration, classify GL accounts for document splitting. You have to provide your chart of account here, which is S000 in our case. And here, just click on new entries, provide your account ranges. If you want to avoid again and again coming here and providing one GL account at a time, what you can do is starting from 1000 to 2999. These are our balance sheet accounts, right? So you can select your category, which is balance sheet account. Similarly, starting from 3000 to 3999, which means 3 series, are our revenue accounts. So I'm selecting this revenue. And starting from 4000 to 4999, this I will keep it as the expense accounts. Okay, so this is the category for expense accounts. Okay, just click on save. Okay, the next time when you try to post this document, this error will not come. So maybe I need to go out, or let's try to post it once again and see. No, we have to go out and try it again. So FB50, sorry, this is the document date, this is the posting date. Let's have some reference, GL account, debit and credit. Okay, system will ask us for value date here, so enter the value date, and here we need to provide the cost center. Just press enter. Okay, again those common warnings, and then just click on post. So now that error is gone, but this is related to some other error, which is constant Z002 for ledger. This one does not contain any value. Now this error is again not relevant to us actually, and this is not a common error that you will find again and again in the actual system. In this particular system, somebody has made some changes in the document splitting functionality, due to which this problem is coming. So we need to solve this problem, otherwise whatever company codes you create, whatever transactions you will do, this will not allow you to go ahead. So what is the problem? The constant 002 for ledger does not contain any value. So simply I'll go to this constant Z002 and I'll maintain some constant values in order to avoid this error. Again, this is related to the document splitting itself. So let's go to this configuration. In the document splitting itself, there is a edit constant. Okay, and we are getting the error for Z002. So let's go to Z002 and maybe mention some of the default values. Okay, so business area, let's keep it as 0001 as default, and segment, let's keep it as anything. We are not worried about this, so keep it this one. If you want to specify the profit center also, just 1 minute. Yeah, this is common, but profit center is according to the controlling area. So let's click on new controlling area, or maybe we can skip this because we don't want, we have still not activated the profit center accounting. So let's save this. Okay, I hope next time we will not get this error. Let's try this once again. So we have to again and again see the error, we have to solve the error, and then we have to proceed. The reason why I'm not solving all this error first is I want to show you what type of errors you will get and how to resolve them, because these are very common when you will be working on actual S/4HANA implementation projects. Okay, so let's go to FB50 once again. Debit and credit, the amount, value date, and cost center. Let's click on post. Just avoid the warning message. Now there is another error. Balancing field profit center in item 001 not filled. Again, related to document splitting functionality, somebody has made profit center mandatory in the document splitting. Okay, and in our case, we have still not activated the profit center accounting, and that is the reason we are getting this error. So let's do one thing. Instead of going ahead with this transaction by changing the document splitting settings, anyways, we need to discuss about the profit center also. So let's do one thing. We will configure the profit center accounting. We will create some profit centers, and then this error will be automatically gone. Okay, so similar to the cost center accounting that we have activated and then we have created the cost centers, let's do the same thing for the profit center accounting. Okay, any idea where can I go and activate the profit center accounting for my company code? As of now, for our controlling area, profit center accounting is not active. Okay, so where can I go and activate the profit center accounting? This is the same configuration as it was available in ECC. Okay, let me show you. I'll go to SPRO, IMG, controlling. You have this profit center accounting. In this one, go to this basic data and controlling area settings, and then you have maintain controlling area settings. Okay, so this is a place in which based on the controlling area you will be telling the system that my profit center accounting is active. So as of now, if I click on this, you can see for S000 profit center accounting is not active. Okay, so if you want to activate it, you have to click this indicator. Now why it is showing you by 2019? Because our controlling area itself is activated from 2019. If you write there 2018, it will allow you to activate from 2018 itself. Okay, and it is again asking you the standard hierarchy. We already discussed yesterday what is the standard hierarchy in case of cost center. Similarly, in case of profit center also, we have the standard hierarchy. Okay, so let's specify the standard hierarchy here. So again, I'm saying, let's say S000 is my standard hierarchy. There are some other mandatory fields. What currency type I want to use for profit center. So just click on F4. These are the three different options. Normally, we go for controlling area currency. Most of the customers, wherever you will go, you will find that for profit center accounting, they are using controlling area currency. Just click on confirm. Okay, other things are optional. It is not mandatory to enter this. One important thing in ECC, we were specifying the dummy profit centers. Okay, but now in S4HANA, it is not mandatory to specify the dummy profit center. I'll tell you why when we will come to that particular point, that particular scenario. So as of now, just remember, we don't need any dummy profit center. Just provide the standard hierarchy, provide the profit center currency type, specify from year indicator active. Then only your profit center accounting will be active. Okay, so let's click on save. Okay, Shailendra is asking what is a stored transaction currency? See, there are different currencies. You must be knowing in SAP FI also. You have a transaction currency, which is a document currency. So for example, if you are posting some transaction in USD and then your company code currency is INR. So what happens is USD is converted into INR. So let me write it here. Let's say your transaction currency is USD and your company code currency is INR. Okay, so whenever you do any transaction, let's say I'm doing the transaction for 100 USD, this will get converted based on the rate to something around 6,000, or maybe as of now the rate is higher, so 70,000, 77,000 INR. Okay, so in SAP FI, we have two different fields to capture this information, right? We have a transaction currency column and we have a company code currency or local currency column. So in short, SAP is capturing both transaction currency as well as the local currency. Similarly, in profit center accounting, you can have the normal document currency, which is transaction currency, and the currency which you activated just now. You said INR. So normally, if you don't tick on this indicator, in all your profit center accounting reports, you will get the report only in profit center currency. But if you also want to capture the transaction currency information, then you have to tick this indicator. Okay, normally in terms of profit center accounting or in terms of controlling reportings, we are not worried about the currencies. We are only worried about our controlling area currency, and that is the reason this is completely optional, because this is for internal purpose. You got the point, Shailendra? Okay. Okay, so now profit center accounting is active for our controlling area as 000. Let's go and create the profit centers now, right? Just activating the profit center accounting is not enough. We have to create the profit centers also. So in order to activate the profit centers, what we can do is we can simply go to accounting, controlling. Okay, so this is a master data. Again, in the profit center accounting, if you go to the master data, you will be able to see the standard hierarchy and you'll be able to see the profit center groups. Okay, so now if I go to this standard hierarchy, and if you remember on day one, I told you profit centers for this particular company, we are using the example of a chemical company. They have three legal entities, they have different branches, okay, which we can create as business areas, and then within each and every branch they are manufacturing different products. If you remember, I told you insecticides, pesticides, and fertilizers, these are their kind of products, and within the insecticides they have different brands. Okay, so for example, let's say our profit centers are those brands. So what we will do is, we will first of all, we have to change the hierarchy. We cannot create because it was already created when we created the profit center, when we activated the profit center in the controlling area. So if I double click on change, it will automatically show you as 000. Again, you can add lower levels, same level codes using standard hierarchy, or you can do it via the profit center groups. So it is up to you which one you want to use. Normally for me, I think I find this one simple, but it is not necessary to use profit center groups. You can also use standard hierarchies. So just double click on this, press enter. So here you need to provide the description. So let's say this is my profit center hierarchy for S000. And then within this, I want the lower level groups. So I'll click on lower level. So the first one would be for our company code S001. Okay, same as I created in case of cost center. So this is company code S001. Similarly, I want two same level codes, S002, S0. Just 1 minute, it is stuck. Again, one same level code, which is S003, S003. Okay, and then within this company, within this S001, let's say they are manufacturing two different kind of products. So I'll go for lower level code, and in this one, let's say this is pesticide. I don't know the brands in the pesticide, so let's say this is brand one. Okay, so let's say this is whatever, whenever they are creating, they will be specifying the name of that brand. So this is brand one for pesticides. Okay, or maybe even what they can do is, before they create the profit centers, let's do this one. This is pesticides. Let's remove this. Okay, create another same level code. This is fertilizers. Okay, and let's say this is another same level code, which is insecticides. Okay, so same way, if you want, you can configure in S002 also. Let's go to the lower level code. Let's say PEST1. This is for pesticides, and let's say this one is only manufacturing pesticides. S003 is only working in fertilizers. Okay, so this has to be unique code, so FERT1 and fertilizers. Okay, so this one is done. Just click on save, and now whatever profit centers you will create under these groups. So standard hierarchy is ready now. Let's go back and create the profit centers. So again, if you want to create the profit centers, you will go to this master data profit center, individual processing, and double click on create. So the profit center, as I told you, I will create it as, let's say, PEST and 1, which is brand number 1 under this pesticides. Just click on enter. Okay, and here you have to specify the name. So this is brand 1 for pesticides. Person responsible, same thing what we discussed yesterday. The manager who is responsible for profit and loss of this particular profit center. So I will specify this as manager. And profit center group, this is nothing but the hierarchy that we just now created. Okay, so we are creating this for pesticide 1. This is a group, this is not a description, so we will go with this one. Okay, segment, again you can specify the segment here. So what we can do is also parallelly is we can create the segments to create the entire end-to-end structure. Okay, so let me show you how to create a segment. Segment is not the company code or controlling area relevant. Segments are created at the client level. So let's go to SPRO, IMG, controlling. So, sorry, it is in financial accounting itself. Financial accounting, not even financial accounting. Sorry, once again, it is an enterprise structure. Enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, and define segment. So just click on define segment. Here you can create various different segments. So my 3 segments are fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides. Okay, just click on save. So what does it mean? Why I created these segments? Now, if you go to the profit center, here it is asking you for segment. So this is pesticides brand number 1. So all brands combining together, if I want the report, I can specify the segment as pesticides. Okay, so I'll select this. And in case of profit center accounting, just creating and clicking on save is not enough. You have to also activate the profit center if you want to use it. So normally when you click on save, it will just create the profit center, but it will not be active. You have to activate the profit center also. Let's see what are the other things which are available here. Let's go to the indicators. So you can see this dummy profit center is no more available. Lock indicator is available. So let's say you created a profit center for some time, you entered the transactions into this profit center, and later on you want to discontinue this. So let's say this brand is discontinued, which will not be used in future anymore. And you want to make sure that any user mistakenly also is not able to use this particular brand. Okay, not this use this particular uh, profit center. You can come here and you can lock this particular profit center from here. Also, if you go to company codes, now you can see this profit center can be used for all the different company codes. Normally, if you remember yesterday, can I use the same cost center for multiple company codes? The answer was no. Whenever you are creating the cost center, it will always ask you for which company code you are creating this cost center. But when it comes to the profit center, there is no such restriction in the profit center. Whenever you are creating the profit center, by default, it is active for all your company codes. Okay, but if you have a requirement that you want to block a particular profit center for a particular company code, you can come here and you can deactivate this. So in our case, we are creating this profit center only for company code S001. So only company code S001 would be able to use this profit center. Even mistakenly also, all other company codes are blocked for posting anything in this particular profit center. Okay. Address information is again the same, where you can specify the address of the person who is actually handling this profit center. Normally we don't maintain, or even if you maintain, this is normally the address of your company code itself, because normally we don't have the separate address for the separate profit centers. Communication, who is responsible, what is the telephone number, what is the fax number, you can specify here. And history is just to give the report, who created this profit center, who has changed this. So the complete trail you'll be getting in this history tab. Okay, so let's say if I,
Tab.
yes, Akash,
Please go in indicator tab.
indicator tab. Okay,
What is the formula planning?
formula planning, as I told you yesterday, that this is related to the planning of this profit center. Whenever you want to plan, see, you are creating the cost centers and profit centers in order to capture the actual postings. But what you can also do is you can plan the postings into profit center at the beginning of the month. For example, normally these companies, they plan what would be my profit for this particular quarter or for this particular year. So that planning can be entered using the figures. So for this particular quarter, for this profit center, we are expecting this much profit, and then you compare your profit, planned profit, vis-a-vis actual profit in the reporting. So in order to have that planning, you can provide the template here, like how exactly my planning template will look like. So we will talk about this when I will show you the topic where we'll be planning for the profit centers and the cost centers. Even this particular thing was available yesterday also when we created the cost center master data. Even there also you'll find this formula planning template. Okay, Akash? Okay, so let's, if you want to save as inactive first and then on to activate, that is also fine, but it is better to just click on activate, so it will be saved and activated at one single click. Okay, so now this profit center is available, and we can now go back to our cost center, okay, which we created yesterday. So if you go to our cost center, which is, I can go to transaction KS02, KS01 to create, KS02 to change. So this is a cost center that we created yesterday. And this one, if we want to assign it to the particular profit center, we can directly assign here. But now let's try to understand. Let's try to understand the combination. Okay, because when we are saying profit center is assigned to the cost center, there has to be some logical way in which the profit center is assigned to the cost center. Okay, so this cost center is for S001. Okay, and this is for the Bangalore unit. Okay, but we are not specifying here within the Bangalore unit, this cost center is for pesticide, or this is for insecticide, or this is for brand 1 or brand 2 or brand 3. Okay, so in that case, what we can do is, actually, when we created a profit center, we will create one more profit center, which is KE51 transaction to create a profit center. Now this time I will create S001 CMN, which means common profit center for S001, which will not be specific to the particular product. Okay, so if I press enter now this is my common profit center for S001, which has nothing to do with the products. So this is our common for S001. Person responsible, again I'm keeping as manager. This profit center group, I will select S001 level. Okay, so this is my common profit center for S001. So I will select this. And segment, again, there is no proper segment. So even I can create a segment which is a common for all, or simply I can keep it blank. If my segment reporting is not mandatory, I can keep it blank. Okay, or otherwise it is always better to even create a segment which is common. Okay, again you can create this common segment for S001, S002 and S003. So this would be common, or maybe we can just name the same thing, S001, S002 and S003. So why are we creating this common? Can anybody tell me why are we creating this common cost centers, common profit centers and common segments? When are this required? Any idea? Anyone?
I think for intercompany related transaction, we can use these things.
Intercompany related, not exactly, but what else can you mention? Many times, Sandeep, can you mute yourself? Yes. See, this one we created for admin department of Bangalore S001, right? We created this cost center for Bangalore department for company code S001. Now, in this case, whatever cost is admin cost, is it segregated by insecticide, pesticide, and fertilizers? Let's say, for example, you have a factory, okay, and in that factory, you have an admin department. In that factory, you are manufacturing fertilizers also, pesticides also, insecticides also. So let's say for the factory, you are paying rent. Now, will this rent be divided by fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides, or your supplier will give you the common invoice of the rent? He will give you the common, right? He will say that factory, you are using the factory, whatever you are manufacturing, I don't know. You are using this factory and you need to pay the rent of this much. Now, when you are booking the invoice for this rent, even you are not able to segregate between pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers. You have to book this as common cost because it is used by all the different profit centers. And later on, at the month end, you can decide how much percentage should be divided in each. Okay, that is the reason we create a common cost center and profit center, because when we are booking the cost, at that time we may not be knowing where exactly this cost will go. Okay, and that is the reason we need to create a common. Normally, even if you see any customer's environment, at each level in the hierarchy, they create one common cost center. The idea is that you don't know where exactly this amount should go. But at the month end, you will remove all the costs from the common cost center and you will allocate to the respective cost centers and profit centers. You understood this point? Okay, let me explain. I'll explain this once again. So profit center, I will now select here the profit center as S001 common. Okay, and click on save. There is some message. Field changes to field profit center lead to complicated test of the data involved, which may take some time. Do you really want to carry out field changes online? We will say yes. Okay, so it is done. Now let me explain what I was saying. See, you have three. Let's again understand our structure. So in our company, client is having three companies, three legal entities, which we created as company codes. which are those S001, S002, and S003. Now, he is manufacturing three different kind of products, three product lines, we can say. Three product lines. What are three product? He is manufacturing three product lines. Number one is insecticides. Number two is pesticides. And number three is fertilizers. Okay. So these three legal entities we created as company codes. These three product lines we created as segments. Now within this segments, within insecticides, there are product 1, product 2, or instead of product, let's say brand 1, brand 2, and brand 3, for example. These are profit centers. Apart from this, they have three different locations. Okay, so these three different locations are Bangalore, Pune, and Mumbai. So this we created as locations, we created as business areas. Or if we are not created, we will create them. I think we already created. So three different locations are created as business areas, three different product lines are created as segments, and these brands are created as profit centers. Now, let's say you are booking rent for Bangalore unit. Okay, now you are booking the rent for the Bangalore unit. Can you tell me this rent of this Bangalore office will go to insecticide, pesticide, fertilizer, or it will go to brand 1, brand 2, and brand 3? Whenever we are booking the rent, we are not sure, right? We will book this. This is common. Bangalore unit is common, which is used to manufacture insecticide, pesticide, fertilizer, each and everything. And that is the reason whenever we are booking, we will book in the common cost center. First, it will go to the common cost center. And then afterwards, from common cost center, it will be allocated to respective cost centers later on. Okay, similarly, it will go to common profit center, which will be allocated to proper respective profit centers later on. Similarly, common segment. Okay, so this is the purpose of creating the common cost center, common profit center, and common segment. So at each level, we have to create the common cost centers, common profit centers, and common segments. Okay, that is exactly what we have done here. So if I again go to this cost center, now in this one, I have not specified the business area, whereas this is for Bangalore. Okay, so I should specify the business area also as Bangalore in order to make sure that whenever I am posting anything in this, if I go to the business area Bangalore, it will give me the complete information of what is the expense for the Bangalore unit. Okay, so as of now, this is into the profit center common because we don't know whether this is pesticide, insecticide, or brand 1 or brand 2. So anyways, as of now, it will go to the common. Just click on save. Just click on yes. So now cost center has been changed. So now again coming to this transaction of creating the accounting document. Okay, so now we have the profit centers. We could easily eliminate that. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's available now. So reference. Okay, so GL account 4,000, GL account 2,000, debit, credit, Slow. Okay, so amount, and then I have to provide the value date here, and I have to provide the cost center here. Let's click on post and see if there are any more errors. This is warning, just press enter. Another warning, press enter. So now there is another error of no entry found in table FINSC CMP version for company code S001 version 000. Can you tell me, is this a common error in ECC or seems to be a new error?
New error.
This is a new error, right? This was not available in SAP ECC. So there is some more configuration required apart from SAP ECC in order to integrate your FI and CO components. Okay, let's see what is that configuration. So you can either click on view details, it will tell you what is wrong. Just click on close. And this is a transaction which will tell you what exactly you need to configure. So if you click on this, it will take you to this particular configuration, update content of table FINC component. This is, I think this is company code version ND. Okay, let's do this. So for company code, for controlling area S000 and company code S001 to S003. Okay, you can click on test run, otherwise just click on execute. So all was already up to date. Okay, so it is not showing the error here, but the error is, I'll tell you where exactly you need to perform the configuration. So let me come out of this first. Let me close this. Now let me show you some more configurations which are relevant for FI and CO, which are not available in ECC. So if you go to SPRO, IMG, in this one, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, financial accounting, global settings, ledgers, integration of controlling with financial accounting. There are some new configurations here. Okay, we will see them one by one, but as of now, this document type and this three are not required. This is the one which is causing this error. Define ledger for CO version. So if you open this, let's see if we have the entry for our controlling area as 000. Okay, there is no entry. This is causing the problem. What is the problem now is we understood that in SAP controlling module, gets the postings from various different modules. Okay, so there are only few entries that we post through secondary cost elements in controlling. Most of the entries, most of the documents which are posted to controlling, they come from different modules. So the primary postings comes from financial accounting, right? Whatever you post in financial accounting, the primary postings through the cost elements, primary cost or the revenue cost elements, based on that, postings are flown from financial accounting to controlling. So let's say in my financial accounting, I have two ledgers, 0L and second one for IFRS. Let's say I'm using two accounting principle, IFRS and local GAAP. So in controlling, I need to transfer the values, whatever are posted in this two accounting principles. Can you tell me which postings will go to CO? CO will get the values from 0L or IF or from both. Let's talk about ECC first, then we will talk about S4HANA. In ECC, your CO postings, when they flow from FI, they get posted from where? From 0L or from IFRS? or from both? Shailendra is saying 0L. Any other answer? See, mainly it is from 0L. In
0L.
ECC, yes, in ECC, whatever postings are flown to CO, they are by default going from 0L only. No other ledger is able to post the values from FI to CO. Okay, it is only possible to flow the values from 0L to the CO. Okay, but in SAP S4HANA, SAP has provided the option. In SAP S4HANA, it is possible to flow the values from IFRS or any other accounting principle also. So SAP is not giving any option default. Okay, whatever you want, whether you want to flow the values from 0L or you want to flow the values from IFRS, that you have to set up in this configuration. And this configuration is mandatory, otherwise CO will not pick the values at all. Okay, so just click on new entries. Here you have to provide your controlling area, which is S000. Here you have to provide the ledger from where you want to post the values to CO. Okay, so 0L. And here you need to provide the version. Similar to ledgers in FI, you have different versions in CO. Normally we use version 0. Okay, so what we are telling the system is whatever postings are coming to ledger 0L from financial accounting, post these values to version 0 of controlling. Okay, if you want, you can also enter one more line to flow the values from IFRS to any other version, but normally that is not recommended. We only flow the values from 0L. So in ECC, this was the default case and there was no option also to change this. But in S4HANA, SAP has provided the flexibility, but as of now, we are just using this version 0 to pick the values from 0L. Okay, just press enter and click on save. Okay, so this was the first configuration. Let's go and see once again if we are able to proceed. So let's try to post once again. It is still showing the same error, so maybe we need to go out and come again. FB50. I'm still expecting some errors. Maybe this time I will create a template instead of entering this again and again. Sorry. Value date. Then the cost center. Okay, let's try to post. Enter the valid dates. Okay, so finally the document is posted. No more errors. Document has been posted in company code S0001. Okay, and if you want to see the document, just go to more, document and display, which is nothing but FB03 screen. So here you can see the document has been posted correctly. But if you click on the document overview, so if I go to document and environment, document environment and accounting documents, see, these are the two documents which are posted. Okay, system has posted the accounting document and system has also posted the controlling document. But can you see some difference? Is this the way how the controlling document used to be in SAP ECC? It is starting from alphanumeric. It is starting from alphabet. Even in mid also there are alphabets. Is this the way in which in ECC also do we get this kind of document numbers? We don't get this type of document numbers because in SAP ECC, accounting and controlling, these were two different components. Okay,
and each and every component was having their own different tables. Each and every component has their own number ranges which are getting picked. But now, since we are talking about SAP S/4HANA, all these components, these two components at least, are merged together, and that is the reason there is no need to create two separate documents. So this is just a statistical document, just to show you the information, but this is the only document which is created in the system. So in ECC, whenever we create the accounting document, it also creates the controlling document. If I want to see the accounting document, I can go to transaction or maybe table, BKPF and PSEG. And if I want to see the controlling information, I need to go for COSS or COSP, all these tables, COEP tables, right? But now there is one common table. If you just go to table AC doc A, AC16N, if you just go to table AC doc A, in this table itself, if you just provide your company code S001 and click on online, so this is showing you the same document which we just now posted, and in this table itself you will be getting all the information related to controlling. Also you can see cost center, profit center, business area, controlling area, segment, everything is available at one single place. Okay, in the case of ECC, if you want to get this information, you have to roam on between different tables. So you will pick some information from one table, then go to the second table, then the third table to pick that information. Now, because of this change in the architectural status, or maybe the simplifications between FI and CO, the reconciliation, which was always the problem with FI and CO, is no longer there, and each and everything is available at one single place. Okay, so you can see the reports, or you can see the tables, that the data is available at the common place itself. Okay, in AC Doc A itself, you are able to see all the information, whatever we have posted, and even the document number, as I told you, which was generated just now, you will be able to see that statistical document number also. You can see this number. This is a statistical document number which was generated. So this number in SAP S/4HANA is called as universal document number, and this table is called as universal journal table, universal journal entry line item table, or you can call it as a universal journal table. This is a universal journal document. Okay, so in short,
Gaurav,
yes.
how these both are linked, Gaurav? Is there any configuration?
What two are linked?
Both document numbers, the universal and the statistical document number.
Well, there is no question of linking. As I told you, this is just for the reference. This is not the actual document number, how it was getting generated in ECC. The main document number is only one. That is the reason it is called as a universal journal document. We are not going to do any reporting on this number. This is just the dummy numbers. So even for controlling also, this is the document number.
Okay, so there is no range for this statistical document number.
No. There is no range. We don't need to define any number range for this document number. I think Shailendra also asked this question. So
okay.
Have you understood, Shailendra? Okay. Okay, so this is one. So this is called as a universal document number, and the table is called as a universal journal document table. Apart from this, I forgot to tell you one thing yesterday. We have not seen the table when we created the GL master data. Okay, so let's focus for another 10-15 minutes on the tables itself. Like what are the different tables in SAP ECC and what has been changed compared to SAP ECC in terms of tables. So can you tell me what was the table for GL account in SAP ECC? We will check it out whether that table is still available or not. Which were the tables for GL accounts? Sorry, Akash?
BKPF and BSET.
No, I'm talking about the master data table for GL. GL master data table, not the document table.
SKB1.
SKA1 and SKB1, right? SKA1 for chart of account and SKB1 for company code. So our chart of account is S000. If you click on online, you can see we have created these two GL accounts for this chart of account. Okay, similarly for company code, we have SKB1. Again, if you click on S000, company code S000, click on online, you will be able to see the same two GL accounts which are also created for this company. Sorry, company code is S00001. Okay, same two GL accounts which we created yesterday for the company code information. Okay, so no change. From the GL perspective, same tables that we were using in SAP ECC are used in SAP S/4HANA also. Definitely, there are some new fields in SKA1 and SKB1 because in SKA1, GL account type, which was not available till now, the 4 options that has been included. What about the cost element tables in SAP ECC? Which were the two tables for storing the cost element information at chart of account or controlling area level and company code level? Similar to SKA1, SKB1, for cost elements also there were two tables. Any idea? Anyone remembers that? Let me tell you. It was CSKA. You remember this? This was the cost element table. CSKA for chart of account. So if I go for chart of account, which is S000, click on online. You can see for chart of account S000, cost element 4000 is created. Why system is not showing the entry for 2000? Why 2000 is not appearing here? In GL account, 2000 was created. Why it is not created for cost element? Please try to answer. Varun, Sandeep. It is not an expense. It is not a profit and loss account. We created the cost element. We normally create the cost element only for profit and loss accounts, and that too, if you remember, we have the account type field only for account type primary cost or revenue or secondary cost. We have the cost element created automatically in the system. Okay, so you will not find for balance sheet accounts normally the cost element to be created here in CSKA. Similarly, if I want the company code related information, I will go to CSKB. Okay, so here also you can provide the controlling area, which is S000, and click on online. It will show you the cost element category for the particular controlling area. Okay, you can see this valid from valid to which were available earlier. Now system is picking this by default. Okay, and there is no by default cost center, although you can see the fields are still available, but you cannot change this default cost center, default order, which was possible in ECC. So in short, table levels are still available as same. Tables are not changed. For cost elements, still there is a separate table for master data, I'm saying, not for transactional data. For master data, whatever tables were available in ECC, same tables are available even in S4HANA also. Even if you go for the tables for cost centers and profit centers, there also you will not find much of changes. Can you tell me what are the tables for cost centers and profit centers?
CSKS.
CSKS. Okay, so for cost center master data, just give me a minute, sorry. Sorry. Okay, yes. So CSKS is a table for cost center master data. So if you just provide your controlling area here, which is S000, and you click on online, it will show you the cost centers which we have created. But why it is not showing the cost center, the second cost center that we created? We created two cost centers, right? Or one? We created only one cost center, right? We created two profit centers, not the cost centers. So cost center is only one, which is correct. Okay, so still your cost center table is also available as it is. CSKS is your cost center table. What about the table for profit center? Anyone remembers the table for profit center? Even I don't remember. Let's try F4 and let's go to information system star profit center. C star, right? It also starts from C itself. So C star and profit. No, it is not showing. Okay, let's go to the profit center KE53 and see which table is being called in the background. In short, that is also same. I'm just trying to show you, you will be still able to see that information as it is. Why it is showing PRCT view? Okay, let's go to the view first. Okay, this is a view. And then if you want to see the actual table, let me just try to go for more utilities, runtime object and display. No, this is not a view. Sorry, this is not a view. This is the actual table, but this is a structure. Some structure is being called. Let me just find out what was a table earlier and then I'll show you. CEPC. CEPC was a table. CEPC. It is also still available. So our profit center, we can just provide the controlling area S000. And if you see this, it is showing you two profit centers which we created. Okay, so profit centers are available as it is. I think, sorry, Shailendra has already answered CEPC, but still we were searching for that. Okay, so CEPC is a table which is still available. So in short, just remember one thing, because this is always a confusing question when you face the interviews. Okay, they normally, if you go through any videos from SAP and even if you go through some documents, there are a lot of places where it is written that all the tables are gone and everything will be stored in ACDoc. What do you mean by all the tables? It doesn't mean that there are no tables in SAP apart from ACDoc. It means there are a lot of tables which are removed, but not all the tables. Just remember this thing, there are only two type of tables which are removed. Nowhere in SAP or any other book it is written that the master data tables are even touched. Master data tables will remain as it is. Even the transactional data tables, whatever are the raw tables means where there is no index and no aggregates. These are the only two type of tables which are removed. Aggregate tables and index tables are removed. All other tables are available as it is. Okay, but even removing of aggregate and index table saves lot of space in the memory, because of which SAP S/4HANA is much faster compared to the traditional databases. Okay, so let's now focus again on the document that we created. So if I go for FB03 once again. Okay, so this is a document that we created. Now, similar to SAP ECC, you can go here and you can just change the view, and you can bring more number of columns. You can change the layout according to your requirements. Only thing which I've shown you the difference is the controlling document number is not generated. Okay, it is a statistical number. It is not the actual number, because this is called as a universal document number now. Okay, so there is no more question of what would be the CO document number. CO document number and FI document number both are merged together to create one single document. Okay, and if you want to see the reports for the cost center accounting and profit center accounting, because we now posted the document into cost center as well as profit center. So let's go to accounting, controlling, cost center accounting. So here you have planning. We will see planning maybe in the next session. Actual postings. So if you want to see the actual postings, or this is actually used to make the actual postings, which you can make even after the transactions are done from FI. So there are some differences between manual reposting and reposting of line items. So this would be one of the topic that we are going to discuss in detail in the next session, along with the planning. But what I want to show you is information system, reports on cost center accounting. Here you have plan versus actual comparison, actual versus actual comparison, and target versus actual comparison. So plan is when you plan for the cost center using this planning functionality. Whatever is planned, let's say you said for a particular cost center, the maximum budget or the maximum expenses that you will do is 10,000, and at the end of the month you want to see what is the actual by comparing to the plan. So it will should tell you that the plan was 10,000 and you made the expenses of 9,000 or 12,000. So if it is 9,000, it is favorable because you made less expenses, that is good. But if it is 12,000, it is unfavorable. So you need to make the correction decisions. You need to ask the responsible person who is responsible for that cost center what made what was the factor due to which you were not able to control the cost. Okay, so that is a kind of thing that is done in the controlling. Okay, so let's go and see the report. When you say actual versus actual, this means when you are comparing two periods normally. Okay, so actual of last month versus actual of current month, actual of last year versus actual of current year. So just to compare with two actual values instead of planned values. So let's go to the plan versus actual. We are not planned anything, so planning will be 0 in our case, but we will be only able to see what has been posted in the actuals. So our controlling area is S000, fiscal year is 2018. This is from period 1 to 12. We can specify only one period, okay, or we can change whatever we want. And then planning version. So as I told you, we are still not created any planning, so this version 0 will have the values also as 0. And here you can specify the cost center group. If you remember, we created some cost center groups. If you just do F4 here, so these are the different cost center groups that we have. On the top level, we have this. Within this, we have this 3 company codes. Within this 3 company codes, we have this locations. Okay, so you can see whatever you want. For example, you want to see only for cost centers for company code S001. So this will show you all the cost centers which are available in this particular cost center group. If you specify S000, this will show you the cost centers for all the 3 company codes. So all the cost centers which are available within this cost center standard hierarchy. Okay, or you can specify the values. Okay, values means you can specify a particular cost center. You can specify the range of cost center, or you can specify the list of cost center. Right here you can specify the list. Here you can specify the range. Also the cost elements. So for example, you want to see the cost for a particular cost center, but only for that particular kind of nature of expenses. I want to see only the rent by different cost centers. I want to see only the salaries. For example, in our case, this value would be 4,000 because we are only looking at the salaries for all the cost centers in the entire group. Okay, and fiscal year 2018, which is wrong, we have to specify 19 because in 2018 there is nothing. Even our controlling area was activated only from 2019. Okay, if you are done with this, just click on execute. It will show you the planned versus actual values. So you can see planned value is 0 because we have not maintained any planning results. Actual values are 10,000 and there is a variance of 10,000. This variance is in plus. That is the reason this is unfavorable. Just understand these terminologies, because if you are working in controlling, this kind of terminologies business will use. Okay, so normally we don't use this favorable, unfavorable in controlling module as a SAP consultant, but the end users will always talk about these terminologies. So this is unfavorable result because there was no plan. We have not planned anything for this. Still we made the expenses of 10,000. So this is not good. But if, let's say if the plan was 20,000 and you only incurred 10,000, then it is really good. You are controlling your cost very well, right? And this is variance in percentage. So there was blank value, so system cannot calculate the percentage. But if you have some planned values, it will also show you how much is a variance in terms of the percentage also. Now, some of the reports are just the, what you can call it as the ALV reports. Some of the reports are interactive reports. Interactive reports means when you double click on this, it will open the other options. While there are some reports which are not interactive, which means even if you double click, it will not give you further information. The information is restricted to this much only. Okay, so you can select a particular company code. You can select, let's say for example, as of now, we are looking at the complete group level reporting. And currently we only have one cost center. So hierarchy is very small. But assume that this is your cost center hierarchy for a big corporate group. You'll be having thousands of cost centers here. So very easily you can just go to the particular company code or a particular cost center and reports will be modified according to your requirements. Okay, and if you want to print this page, you want to see the person responsible, so he is responsible. So if it is favorable, you will be giving kind of incentives to this person. If it is unfavorable, then there may be the negative impact for this person responsible. So all those things can be controlled via this reportings. So these reportings are very important for the managements or CFOs who are looking at these reports on day-to-day basis. Right? Any question on this? How to see the cost center reporting, how to post the transaction? So what we will do next time is I will show you this planning, which is very important topic of the cost center planning. So in the planning, we will create some plans. We will again create some different versions of plan. So let's say, for example, CFO has created one plan, but your manager is saying, no, I want to control more. So my plan is not with CFOs. It is even lesser compared to CFO. So we will create multiple plans and then we will keep on making some postings. And at the month end, we will see whether the results are favorable or unfavorable. Okay, and then we are also going to talk about the activity types and statistical key figures. But I think this we will keep parked as of now, because this we will see directly with the scenarios when we will be needing to allocate the cost from one cost center to another cost center. Okay, so any questions for today? If not, I am planning to stop it here itself. In next session, we will talk all this cost center accounting in more detail.
Okay, Gaurav.
Okay, so no questions. Can we close?
Yeah, Gaurav.
Okay.
Gaurav.
Then we will meet again on next Saturday with the other topics. Bye.
Thanks.